So in conclusion, what we're saying, is that we need a whole budget approach. But it need not be new. This was already envisaged when we had one oil field. And we should be doing more with 2 oil fields. We're able to lower, the lower debt. We're able to bring the financing of instability in the budget through the stabilization fund, and the rest. So that should be a beginning, right? And this is something which has been done, and the evidence is there already. We can't be pushing everything into consumption. We need a revenue modernization, very comprehensive one. There were a number of tax reforms that were embarked upon. Remember 2009, we settled the question by creating GRA to replace the RAGB. Then we merged IRS and VAT service into the domestic tax division. If you remember, the administration was also brought together. By 2016, we had reviewed every single tax law because the Income Tax Act was 2000. And we are in an oil and services sector economy. So you needed, to bring them, the VAT, the income tax, those 2 in particular. So they were all revamped. The VAT was 2013. The income tax, I believe, was around the same time. We did a Revenue Administration Act because we're merging, to make tax administration, uniform. Then we created a large, medium, and small taxpayer offices. I heard some commentary yesterday from GRA, and I've known this about some changes that have been made to what is taxpayer service centers. Taxpayer services is a function of tax administration, right? And it's a function that will be carried on whether you have a large taxpayer office, small taxpayer office, or medium taxpayer office, right? Segmentation is a practice to attend to the needs of small, medium, and large taxpayers, right? So I think some of the confusion in doing, in moving away like VAT and the rest from what is globally accepted is something that we have to examine. Otherwise you have instability, in what, we are doing. Then we have to come to expenditures again. We started a gift list and all those. We have, some countries do unfunded mandates. Unfunded mandates means that, you remember the wall in the US, right? When it came to building the wall, the question was, where's the revenue going to come from? And as you got, they had a law which says that if you have a new proposal, during the campaign, you must show where the money will come from. In the end, they had to fall on the military and others, and it was difficult. So those are some of the ways in which we can. Then we have to restore the budget buffers. We have said this is like a summary. We have to stop our dependence, on debt by being realistic with, arrears, make sure that they are all covered, in the budget. They should all be covered as we have done in the past. It's nothing new. And this is where, again, I call on my own institute to give us. Somebody said, yes, we had adopted IFSAS. Yes, the government adopted IFSAS in 2015, to be precise. We adopted IFSAS in 2015. But in Ghana, not even the government can adopt a standard without the Institute of Chartered Accountants issuing, a national standard. And even if the national standard is repeating the international standard, so we have an IFRS version and the rest, and that is what is left. And once that is done, the treatment of arrears will be settled, as we have in the government finance statistics of the IMF. So I think if we want, to make progress, then we should, So then we should have our own, homegrown. The budget is not a substitute. We've seen, that if we are not going to go to a fund, let us do our own homegrown, however name we'll call it, to make the path a bit more, credible. Thank you very much.